Hey everyone! Welcome back to this week's show of Microsoft Studios Live. This week we are talking some State of Decay, and I am joined by Mr. Geoffrey Card from Undead Labs here in Seattle, and Jen, the community manager for State of Decay.
Yeah, that's
welcome.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
We're really excited about patch 3.0, so nice to be able to kind of show off some of the work that we've been doing.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Undead Labs and just pushed out a pretty significant patch for State of Decay 2. It fixed
huge.
Yeah, I think what, 1,100
That's the number that I just heard? Yeah, something like that. I wasn't counting them myself.
Massive amount of bug fixes in this. Obviously, there's still some weird stuff, but by and large, like this was, yeah. I mean, it's a game. It's a game. It's like, no game is perfect.
The fixes are fantastic. Yeah, so.
We're doing our best. We really want to give players a lot of what they've been asking for. I mean, it's some of our most requested features were some of the things that we managed to either fix or add to the game with this patch, including I spent actually a couple of days going around my map recovering all of the vehicles that I had lost.
I was so excited about that feature. Oh my god! Like I'm the community manager, so take this with a grain of salt. Maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm not. I friggin' love this game and I can't stop playing it. And so when I saw that patch note, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so on our stream at Undead Labs, we've got this one community that we've been running for a long time, and first off, literally everybody who plays with this community kills somebody, and so I have to go in behind the scenes and add more characters. But we had this one stream where we were just introducing the Independence Pack, and I had Brian Giammi in there, who was a designer who worked a lot on the Independence Pack, and he got all of the cars and got all of them stuck during the stream.
I like him already.
So yeah, no, he's my kind of people, and so I went around and I actually found all those cars, and using with patch 3.0, you can use the unstuck command in your radio to teleport a vehicle that's been trapped on a one of them was trapped on a headstone, which actually seemed kind of appropriate. He drove through a graveyard and just got high centered, got the meat wagon high centered on a yeah.
I've been playing what is it, Meager Valley, the one that's mostly farmland.
Yeah.
I get way too overconfident on that map.
It's so flat, right? What could happen?
Everywhere, and then I'm like, oh, that was a cliff full of boulders. That was so bad.
Yeah, no, the key on Meager Valley is to just drive down the middle of the river.
Yes.
So there are a few logs and stuff you can get caught on, but
definitely stuck a log. I was driving the Pyro
Hawk, yes.
And a log went into the luggage carrier, and I actually pressed the unstuck command, but then I managed to back my way out of it, and it was fine. So
yeah, losing cars has been a big part of the State of Decay experience
Yeah.
for a very long time. And with State of Decay 2, we had a goal to because yes, sure, in real life, if you drive a car off a cliff, you probably lost that car.
Bad.
But a lot of the time, you don't really feel like it's your fault, and it could be a frustrating experience. And so, in State of Decay 2, we tried really hard to make the cars more recoverable. So if they blow up, you can still fix them.
Okay.
If they turn over, you can sort of air touch them a little bit and get them flipped back onto their wheels.
Right. So basically, it's a lot of quality of life updates.
Yeah. And so those are things we could already do, but we've got the mother of all car rescues in there.
Just teleport that out of
Just
there.
open up your radio menu and do it.
Just bring it back.
Yeah.
I need this. I need come home.
Please.
So you're a designer at Undead Labs,
Yes.
right? So I'm sorry, I think you said senior designer this morning, right?
that wasn't a big deal, but
I don't know. So but what exactly does that mean? What does being a designer in a game like State of Decay really entail?
So it really kind of varies a lot from studio to studio.
Sure.
At Undead Labs, we try really hard to hire designers who want to actually work hands-on on the game. We kind of think of them as blue collar designers, because you got some studios where designers feel like they're sort of up in an ivory tower making decisions and then handing them down like a film director. You all do what I say. At Undead Labs, we try really hard not to have anybody in a position like that. We're a studio full of veterans, people who've been in the industry for a long time, and everybody knows what they're doing, and they've got really just a lot of experience and a lot of good instincts, and we really try hard to hire designers who don't expect that everyone's just going to do what they say, who instead want to get down in the trenches and be building the game alongside everybody else.
So it's it's a team effort.
It's definitely a team effort.
sure.
Yeah, and we work hard to sort of like build a studio culture around that idea that that everybody should be invested, everybody should be helping to make creative decisions.
Right.
And so a lot of our features, a lot of these updates and stuff were headed up by programmers, who had sort of like, this is a thing I've been dying to fix for a really long time.
Hey, I really don't like when this happened. Fix it.
Yeah, no, exactly. But the thing that's cool is they can fix it themselves. It's the people who actually can make the stuff themselves who are also making the decisions about what they're going to do.
Cool.
And so for me as a designer, like I was primarily involved with the character system as well as a lot of other little things. But we built the character system in such a way that I could actually, the programmers built me a bunch of tools, and then I was able to go in there and write traits, create skills, come up with name lists, and just build that stuff myself without having to bother a lot of other people. So that was a lot of the bulk of my time working on the project was just entering names into a gigantic list. Or entering traits. We ended up writing like 1,200 traits.
And I've seen some pretty interesting trait combos out there. Like it's just, I'm a gardener.
It's very helpful. I don't think you've played very much State of Decay.
I haven't. I admit I have not.
Very necessary.
Yeah, no, I think the skill that's probably the least useful is the skill that's called farting around.
I saw that one actually. I think so. It was one of my friends was playing, and that was the character trait for their Ricari character.
Oh,
and it was just like
so right. If you guys don't know, Ricari used to be a community manager on the same team that Sam and I are on. So he's very well known around here, and he also he's one of the faces of the characters.
Yep.
And so we like to make fun of him for all the ways that we've murdered his character.
Yeah, and all the different weird traits his character might have.
I have a friend who was playing, he got the game on launch
Animal
day.
Facts, says Blaze.
Oh,
yes.
Yes, Blaze Experience Animal Facts is probably the other most useless skill in the game.
TV trivia.
So that one actually gives you a morale bonus,
I think.
It does,
which is great, but I'm just like, get out of here. You could be driving my cars better.
Yeah,
I really
that's true.
love the driving skill.
So no, actually I was gonna say before we get started into that, I'm pretty sure most everybody in the chat knows what this game is, knows what it's about, but we do have the trailer.
Okay,
so we're gonna go ahead and watch the trailer for like maybe the 4 people in chat that don't know and don't, maybe have not seen it. Plus it's just a really badass trailer.
It is pretty great.
So we're gonna go ahead and watch the trailer, then we'll get into some gameplay and we'll talk some more.
Cool.
So what's your secret? How do you guys survive out here?
You need to play to your strengths. I build, so shelter tops my list.
I'm on patrol.
You got to withstand the elements, no matter how unnatural.
Gotta keep the peace, and we know that you know.
I think the key is hard work. When you add value, you have something to trade, and everybody wins.
Hands down. The only way to make it is by putting lives first. You have to be tough enough to know when to give and when to take away. So what do you have to offer?
Well, if you didn't have a weapons expert, you do now.
Looks like we found ourselves a warrior.
I guess we all have our strengths.
Is this where you tell me the real secret is teamwork?
Nope. The real secret? Aim for the head.
play best on Xbox One.
All right, so that was a trailer. I've noticed some people in the chat are like, this is a really, like, I love this trailer. I agree. It's really badass, and I mean, it's a zombie game, zombie apocalypse, what's not to love, right?
Yeah, we were just remarking that whoever it was that filmed the trailer had to actually go into the game and make all those things happen, which is actually really impressive. So
it would take me a very long time to make, like, to get any one of those things right. Just really bad at games like this. I run around and, like, I'll get distracted and I'll just, like, get jumped by zombies and just completely forget. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
I've realized I'm really bad at dodging. Like, I just get so into just whacking things with my melee weapons that I just forget to dodge and get attacked from behind. Like,
if you go long enough without dodging, like the hit system actually starts begging you to dodge.
Please,
it's like, please, your people
your
want
own
to survive.
So,
all right, should we hop in and play?
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and
I'm gonna hop in and play.
Yeah, Jen's
we're
gonna go ahead
keep
and boot up.
chit-chatting.
So I was telling you, like, before we
do it.
we mentioned that Ricari was one of the characters, and one of my good friends was playing this on like opening day or something, and he texted me. And Ricari is one of the greatest guys, like super easygoing, really funny, like just no nonsense. But he was like, my Ricari character is the biggest jerk. He is like, he comes in and all he does is cause trouble because he's like, I don't want to do anything.
Does he have one of the traits that gives somebody like no labor?
Probably.
And they just sit around the house and do that. I mean, that's I think whoever gets the farting around skill also I think gets -1 labor. So they just
oh my
you know.
God.
Well, he was
That's
also
so rude.
at the same time as like his Ricari character is doing nothing. He's got the girl that's a hoarder and like takes up all the bed space, and he's just like, there's gonna be a fight. I can see it coming.
You got characters wasting beds, characters wasting time.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nobody wants to do anything.
So, are there any like stuck cars or anything that we can anything that you can
This
show
is a
off?
pretty new game, but I could just go crash this somewhere.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't actually have to be stuck for the
We
stuck
could
command to
just-
work.
to be fair, we
the
could
problem
just
is
teleport.
it costs gas, and you're pretty low on gas right now.
I did
so
bring a gas can, but maybe we'll wait until I'm like almost out, so it doesn't
that sounds good.
waste
Yeah.
as much.
almost, or if you find a new full car, and it's not going to cost you too much.
That's
that'd
true.
be cool.
This is actually the only car I have right now. So,
So Jen actually had another game playing, but she's near the end of that one in her settlement. So we just kicked up a new one to kind of show off what's going on.
I've started it. I've gotten through
So-
the first couple, nobody's too angry because I've gotten my materials and stuff. So,
That's cool.
and I just really want to explore the world and go to this cell tower back here.
So while Jen is driving around, obviously you said you worked with a lot of the characters and stuff. How did you guys narrow down what traits and what attributes and stuff to give? What goes into that process? Because obviously there's a lot. So that makes me think there was even more that got pared down for that.
Well, yeah. So with the traits were interesting because really kind of the sky was the limit. Like we drew sort of a dotted line between the different aspects of your character where we wanted to have some parts of the character that were very familiar and recognizable. Where like you get a character and you immediately know what's valuable about the character because you can see a quick summary. So that's what we use the skills for. So we keep the number of skills very low. There's only 4 core skills,
Right.
and each of them has like 4 leveled up versions, specializations.
Do you want to outline those 4 skills for people that may not know?
Okay, yeah. So your first skill is cardio, and then wits. So cardio is like your stamina, running around, endurance, yeah, that kind of thing. It determines how long you can fight, how far you can run, that sort of thing. You've got wits, which is about like stealth and scavenging. You've got fighting, which is about fighting, and it also levels your health up. And then you got shooting, which is about shooting.
Are you sure?
Yeah, has to do with it'll affect like how well you take care of your weapons, how well you control recoil, that sort of thing.
Looks like another play
And so those 4 skills are sort of the basic definition of your character. And even when you specialize them, they still have the same icon. You can still recognize, oh, this is my cardio skill, this is my wit skill.
Okay.
And so we wanted to keep that very concise so that whenever you got a new character, you could assess them really easily and not have to like pour through a gigantic, list of like, well, what does every skill do? And
So you
what am I
didn't want
looking
it to
for?
be like a super massive skill tree, kind of like overwhelming. Because like sometimes, speaking on a personal level, I really struggle with games like that. 'Cause like you open it up sometimes, you look at the skill tree, and it's just like, I'm gonna go play something else because this is like really easy. But like in games like this where there's only 4, it's very obvious what the advantages and disadvantages are. I personally find that way more appealing.
Yeah, you can get choice paralysis if you end up with just too many options. And so basically, if you've got a game that's only about a single character, you can get as deep as you want with that character system because you really want players to just be able to dive into that one character
and make
really,
it their own.
Yeah, make it their own and understand them and feel like they're making a lot of detailed strategic choices. But when you've got a game where you're trying to manage a community of a lot of people and you're swapping characters all the time, you have to be able to instantly pick up what's valuable about that character.
Sure. Okay.
So we kept it to just those 4 skills plus a 5th slot for random skills, things like cooking and gardening, but also farting around and sexting and just all these other random weird
God, I
things you can
forgot
do.
that one existed.
Yeah, that one's in there. We've got
I love that aspect of this game. It's so great.
Lichenology is actually a favorite because it gives you free meds because you know everything about
Is that one that the survivors can actually just come with? Because I've only ever seen it in the book.
So you can survivors can come with it, but it takes a lot of re-rolling or a lot of recruiting to find it because it's pretty rare. There's only I think there's only one trait that gives it to you.
Right. Yeah.
But then we wanted to also have a part of the character. We wanted a part of the character you can just understand instantly, but we also wanted to have a part of the character that could just be really random and surprising all the time. No matter how long you play, you keep seeing new stuff.
Right.
And so that's what we do with the traits.
Okay.
So the traits, they don't have as powerful an effect on what your character is capable of doing the way the skills do, but we wrote 1,200 of them, and so it's really hard to really discover them all. I know Blaze Experience he actually is a podcaster who has a State of Decay podcast.
What? That's amazing.
And so he's been trying to figure out how he's going to do a podcast on the traits, and he's like, there's 1,200 of them. Like, he usually does these very thorough, detailed podcasts.
So to me, it sounds like one podcast per trait, so get going.
Yeah, you got this. I believe in you.
We'll be here.
It'll only take you like 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, a lot of the traits, like say for each of the skills, there's a bunch of different traits that could give you that skill. Like animal facts is one of our less common ones, but like you could be an elementary school teacher. You could also there's several different backgrounds you could have that give you the animal facts skill.
So, fun fact about animal facts: there's actually an Xbox app called Narwhal Facts.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Ask me how I know. I own it.
That makes me very happy.
My daughter would love that. Actually, she's super into narwhal.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but it is a thing, and it is in my ready to install.
I now have to go find this.
So there is an app called Narwhal Facts. Have fun. Do what you like with that information.
But like say each of the skill specializations has got a range of different like say a gardener. You could somebody could be a professional gardener. They could be a landscaper. They could be a farmer. They could be just someone who had tomatoes growing on their back porch. And we've got all of these different traits that all kind of funnel into the same advantage.
Okay.
And so we basically just figured out what the advantages were we wanted to be able to give characters and the disadvantages we wanted to be able to give them.
Right.
And then just riffed on each of them and came up with as many traits as we possibly could.
Okay, cool.
And we're still doing it. I think the next batch is going to package a few more traits that we added because we just got to keep going, right?
Sure.
The game is still live and we're still working on it, so might as well.
So it looks like Jen is playing around. It looks like she's in her inventory.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently this is one of the things that I heard people were pretty happy about.
It's less so the inventory.
Yeah,
more
it's less your inventory, more your supply locker.
But I am actually going to make this an outpost, so we'll see that
cool.
in just a second anyways.
Yeah, so whenever you claim that, we'll be able to look at your supply locker and see some of the ways that we improved it. All right, so it used to be that basically items would go into your supply locker kind of in the order in which they arrived. And so,
First come, first serve.
First come, first serve, yeah. And so you'd have like bullets and guns and different kinds of consumables.
This isn't even a very good showing of it because it's a brand new game. But
yeah, but if you look at the consumables, for instance, I think that was what you had the most of. So you see like your things that you throw are at the bottom. So your Molotovs and your smoke grenades or whatever that was, flashbang grenades. And then your consumables that heal you or give you stamina are all grouped together.
Yeah.
Your toolkits, if you had multiple kinds of toolkits, that all be together. And then if you go over to the guns.
Oh yes, guns are the best.
So you'll notice you can't really tell right now because there's not a lot in the locker, but we start with the ammo. Ammo goes at the top in order of caliber.
Or you can switch it, right?
But then the guns also go in the same order of caliber, so you can really match them up. But if you don't want that, if you don't want the guns in order of caliber, if you'd rather have them in order of gun type, you can switch that. There's the left trigger.
Yes.
Changes to sword order, and so I don't know if it'll change it that much because
yeah,
a little in there.
These swap, but
Hey,
that's about it.
Hey, it counted.
Yeah, totally. So people have been asking for this one for a long time. We've been listening to the community, and that was one of their most requested features. We would see tweets about it and stuff like every single day.
Like,
please let me organize my supply locker.
It's such a mess.
Because we did provide tools that let you, like, if you highlight a particular ammo type, you'll see like highlighted in orange all the guns that match it.
So helpful.
But when you're moving stuff in and out of the locker and things are shifting around, it's still hard to remember where things are. And so now, like, if you've got like several 22 rifles and pistols, and you highlight 22 and you see where they are, they're clumped together, and so you can go find them later, even if the order, even if you've removed things or added things from the locker. So.
Yes, yeah, totally, and it's so helpful.
So can you get home on this tank? How close are you?
Probably not, but again, I do. Wait, did I just drop off? No, the gas is in the back of my truck. I'm pretty sure.
If you have gas at your base, you could tell your people to make gas cans at home and then get them from the outpost,
Which is very helpful, but I end up doing that a lot. But
I love that you can just drive by and door smash.
Crush everyone.
Just the door smashing is hilarious to me.
I think one of my absolute favorite things in this game is there's one like loading screen tooltip that is just so excited about you bringing in 4 friends and being able to drive around with all of your doors open. It's just like, it's so, you could tell that you guys were just like so happy that you put this thing in.
Yeah, no, I was like grinning and typing furiously when when we typed that in. One thing about Outposts, by the way, we did change a little bit about the balance of the way they work. So in the original State of Decay, your outposts were more of a almost like a tower defense strategy thing. They had mines laid around them, and you would try to group them around your base to protect you from hordes.
Okay.
That we changed that in State of Decay 2. Now in State of Decay 2, your outposts, one of their primary features is, first of all, they provide things to your community. But then second, because you get access to your supply locker there, you want to spread them out all over the map and use them to drop off supplies or to pick up supplies in the field.
Punch him, Cheney. Punch him.
But one thing that we realized people were doing
Get back in the car.
was basically they would just keep an outpost slot open, and they would just make a new outpost every time they scavenged. And just every time, seriously.
All right. Please just don't ride in the back. Just get in on the other side.
He's like, wait a minute, I got something to take care of here. Hold on, just a minute.
I really have to kill this one zombie. She offended me personally.
So people would basically, they would just kind of drop an outpost anytime they wanted to drop off supplies, and then cancel it again, and then drop off a new outpost and cancel it again, because we would basically refund all the influence that you spent to do it every single time.
Right.
And that kind of undermined the strategic decision of where am I going to put my outpost. We wanted that to be kind of part of the tactical, choices that you're making in the game. And so now you only get about 60% of the outpost value back when you cancel an outpost.
Which I actually personally love, because I was 100% playing it that way anyways. I just assumed that there was some sort of a deterrent, so I never moved my outpost. And I'm like, yeah, other people should also do this.
You should all play like me. Yeah, exactly.
So Mar the Mad, I think, showed up a little bit late.
Depressed.
Mar the Mad is asking, any chance they're fixing it so I can get my maxed out car unstuck? I upgraded it fully and got it stuck between boulders and a fence that can't break. Learn to drive, and then yes, you'll be able to get it home now.
Ouch.
Yeah. So basically, if you go and get in the car, so the car needs to have gas, and you need to be able to get into it. But if you can do that, then on your radio menu, which is up on the D-pad, you'll be able to go over to the.
Well, apparently he can't get into the car.
Then you might be screwed. I'm so sorry.
I have one like that too.
Okay, how do you get it wedged between two objects sideways?
Get a car you don't like, ram it into that car.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then if it's still kind of stuck but you can get into it, then teleport out of there.
Or try to attract a juggernaut over there to hit it.
Yeah, that's a dangerous way to do this, but yes, I'm in.
So like do the cue ball thing, cool, like zing.
Yep.
All right.
Knock it right out of there.
I tried ramming it with a truck in another car.
No. So you just have a mountain of cars there now? Like.
Yeah. No, I love the idea that it just keeps blowing new cars into that same spot. It's just this giant pile of cars collecting.
Well, Dragon Steel says you should Juggernaut towing service.
Totally.
I like it. I like it a lot.
That would be pretty good, actually. Have the Juggernaut be your tow truck, so it's kind of a risk versus reward thing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Guess we're doing builder stuff this playthrough.
All right. I'm really looking forward to the trader radio command fix. My main community doesn't get any radio calls. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we've got So we've got several fixes to the trader system. Like, so we had an issue for a while. Like right after the Independence Pack came out, we wanted to include, the ability for players to go and get more of the stuff that comes in the Independence Pack.
That pack just came out, what, a month ago?
Something like that. Yeah, about a month ago.
So that's the first deal. That was the first DLC.
It was the first DLC, and if you got the Ultimate Edition, you got it no extra charge.
Sure. If not, go check it out in the store. It's probably on that store link that it's down below. So.
Yeah, it's a bunch of new weapons based on fireworks, a bunch of new vehicles. There's some cool stuff in there, but all of it, it's stuff that especially the weapons, they need ammo, and you can destroy them and you can lose them, and so we wanted to make sure there was a way that the player could always try to get that stuff back. So we put a trader in the game that could sell you more of the stuff that you that you got. The problem was we tuned them a little bit too high, and so now half of all traders were this trader, and so people who were looking for other traders, were not able to get them, and so we've tuned that back. So now he's just one of many other traders. Got the same rate as everyone else.
Biting T says he was about 99% of traders in his game.
If you've got random number generators, that's how they work, right?
You have my luck, Biting T. That's about what I would get.
Yeah. So there's him, and then there was also a new trader that was selling rare skill books, things like Lichenology and Scrum certifications,
So cool.
and all those other kind of weird skills. That trader was showing up, was taking the slot. We've got this trader who only shows up on the weekends, who's very rare, and it sells some of the best stuff in the game. And the rare skill books trader was taking that guy's slot. And so people weren't seeing the mysterious wandering trader the way they were supposed to. So now we've also scaled back the skill books guy, and that trader only shows up just like any other trader. So it's all been tuned back, so you should have a normal array of traders now coming into your game.
Yes.
All right.
Which I did immediately notice that fix. Basically, we put out patch 3.0, and I spent half the next day at work just being like, well, I have to check this out. I'm totally not just playing it because I want to have fun playing the game.
So for the record, one of the things that I know I struggle with, and I think Jen does a little bit too, is we feel kind of bad when we sit in our office and we boot up our game, and so we're sitting there, we're like,
I'm at work playing video. It's
the weirdest
not so
feeling.
much that I feel bad. It's just that I can't believe that that's my job.
I feel like I should be doing more.
Yeah.
But here I am playing my game.
How did I, especially I'll have to grab a GIF or something to put up on our social channels, and I'll be like, how did I luck out and get a job where this is something that is actually working? It's
like,
weird.
hey Jen, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm playing through patch 3.0 and State of Decay 2. All right.
Things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. There was something from Blaze. What was it?
Actually, this person's asking for a patch 3.0 update, and I put this in chat earlier and didn't do it.
Hey,
that is
there
our
we go.
entire list of highlights.
Yeah, there's a lot, and so we can't really go through it all in one stream.
All right, sorry, I'm unpausing now, so it's
Jen,
less boring to look at.
what map are you on right now?
I am on. Is this Foothills, I believe?
We don't know.
Open up the map and I can tell you.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I think.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's Drucker County. Oh, you
Okay.
can see right there in the title, Drucker
Oh,
County.
hey, that's That's helpful.
It's right there.
I think
So we
you're
are in
getting
Drucker
attacked, though.
County.
Oh no, you're not. Never mind.
I think I
was hearing
might have.
something that wasn't true.
I think I might have been drifting and just ran that one over when I tried to attack me.
P1 Gamer is a big fan.
Oh yeah, I follow him on Twitter.
Yes,
So
he's in chat. He's
interact
hanging
a lot.
out. Blaze says his
over.
favorite patch notes is the UI. I think he said UI.
Yeah.
I got to scroll up a little bit, but I think it was the UI interface. The UI for infestations.
Oh God.
Right,
Oh,
that was
ow.
what I wanted to call out.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Get out of here.
Oh, nicely
Okay,
done.
I
Wow.
might have taken my own door off, but I didn't.
Whatever.
Get murdered,
It's worth
so
it.
It's fine.
Well, now
Absolutely
you're
worth
being
it.
hugged by a zombie.
Yeah, but not a big bad zombie.
So yeah, one of my favorite zombie games that I've been playing lately is Dead Ahead. It's a mobile game by Moderate, I think is how you say the name of the studio.
Okay.
But one of the things I like about it is one of their iconic images is a zombie with a sign that says free hugs. So that just sticks in my head all the time. It's like they're adorable people.
That's funny.
Nice.
But yeah, so we used to have a serious problem where once you had explored an area already, if a new infestation went into that area, we wouldn't show it to you on the map.
which was really hard.
So your community was aware of the infestation, and they'd get sad.
They were very angry
because there were infestations on your map, but you wouldn't know about them, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And so now we fixed it. That really wasn't the intent, and so now we fixed it so that when an infestation pops up in a place you've already explored, you just get to see it.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, this is a thing. You may want to go check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now you know what your people are complaining. They are aware of the infestations, and they're complaining about it. So now you know what they're complaining about. You can go take care
they're
of
not
it.
just mad at you.
Whoa!
I am so much more on top of my
God.
infestations now than I was before.
Why are you mad? You have everything you need.
I'm
I
doing
don't
my best.
understand. Nice. It really doesn't like Blaze's Catbot really doesn't like Blaze's gamer tag.
Oh,
It keeps like removing it. I'm really sorry. We'll work on getting that fixed.
That's so strange.
it is long. It's Blaze like the French name, and experience spelled with XP. But it's the same name as his podcast. But
I don't know why it's doing that. I'm really sorry. So
yeah. But it is actually one of the fun things for me. I like listening to his podcast because he goes through, and sort of details out lists of all the things that are in the game and comments on them, ranks them, complains about them sometimes. But it's kind of fun to sort of, to have your job be to come up with a massive list of things for people and then listen to people talk about them and comment on them and explain them to you. It's one of sort of the simple pleasures of this job.
Yes.
So very
I just
cool.
found like the most enormous just stockpile of stuff in this.
Oh yeah, I love it when I open a container and it's got like 3 or 4 rucksacks.
So great.
It's so rare, but when it happens,
and this is, I guess, the builder thing mission, but still amazing.
it still feels really good. Yeah. It's a nice thing about the way our loot is balanced is that that when you can go to a place knowing you're probably going to get a certain thing, and it's usually got this nice consistent flat like this is about how much you get when you search each place, and then now and then there's a spike where you get a lot more than you expected.
And you're just like, this is the holy grail. I love it.
So apparently OGD lost a survivor using the PA system at the stadium.
Oh, nice.
Oh no!
Juggernaut got her. Wasn't my fault.
I literally never was brave enough to use that when I was in the baseball field.
In my game, I've just moved to Whitney Field, and I'm debating whether or not I want to try it out.
It's terrifying. It's so scary.
Nice. Okay. So what else, other than obviously the car thing was one of the big things that people were asking for, except for poor the one guy who managed to get it stuck.
So, I mean, something that I was just doing a lot of, it wasn't actually in this patch, it was in the one before, but being able to give rucksacks to your follower and take them from them is so stupidly helpful. I love it so much.
And that one was just one of our programmers just on a lark realized, oh, this would be helpful, and just did it one day, and we were all like, what?
Yeah.
So helpful.
Here, be my pack mule. You carry all my stuff. I need it later, but not now.
Because a lot of the you'd have to just drop it on the ground, switch characters, have them pick it up, which you can't do if you're on a specific mission for someone. So being able to just give it to them is so good.
Yeah, no, that was one of my favorite just sort of random features that showed up in a previous patch.
Because we should do this stream more often because it's just letting me just fangirl all over this game.
So Takura Spirit in chat wants to know, is there any way to get a survivor with a trader legacy goal? Because apparently all they get are builders and sheriffs. At least your compound is well built and there's good law and order. I don't know, man. Weird. I got nothing.
Yeah, there isn't really a way. I mean, it is pretty random. I think so the trader, that's somebody who is there. They tend to be compassionate and okay. So I'm trying to think if there's any particular traits you can watch for when you're generating characters, but it's all over the place.
It's just RNG.
Yeah, it's a part of the character we don't usually advertise. Certain you can look for certain traits and you'll be able to tell what kind of personality type somebody has in advance, but those traits only show up sometimes. It's a hidden part of the character until until you actually look at them. You can't, when you're randomly generating characters starting a new game, we don't show you really anything that can help you find that. So you got to just keep recruiting. You got to keep those feelers out there. Go on, put an ad on LinkedIn for your community.
So while Jen is, I think, getting more gas or loading up her truck or whatever, I'm sure you guys have noticed that we've got a couple kind of pretty nifty little State of Decay water bottles.
They're so cool.
I think these are some of the last ones we have, right?
Yeah, we had a couple boxes back at the lab, but basically it's been open season on them because these are
the best.
These are from the original State of Decay. These are Clio Drop water bottles.
You can't see it, but
from
it
the
says
Year
it
One
on the
Survival
back.
Edition. Yeah, so we're not making any more of them, and I think we got one box left at the lab, and these came from that box. So
I want
they're very
one so
special.
So, P1 Gamer, by the way, likes your driving. I'm not sure if that's sarcastic or not, but there we are.
Probably that one. I did just like drive into a random field, realize there was not a shortcut to my house, and then turned around and went back around.
So we have these on the like obviously on our desk. Would you guys like us to maybe do a giveaway in chat? I'm guessing the answer here is probably no. I don't think anybody wants free stuff.
Well, if you guys don't want free stuff, these guys get to keep the water bottles.
So you know what? I changed my mind. They don't want it. They want us to keep them.
Yeah, the lighting's really bad. It's kind of hard to see, but they do look cool, I promise.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do just the chat giveaway command. If you win and you are in chat, I want you to Microsoft Studios, because that's the account I'm on. So... And if you were not there, if you don't answer me, you don't win. And actually, I think we have one more thing.
Oh, yeah. You mean... Oh, it's down here.
It's down on the ground. Hang on.
No.
Oh, it's this right here.
Look at
this thing.
Look at how
Nice
good it
little,
is. Oh my God, there's zombies in here.
This is a Bronto Gas jacket. So you can dress like an employee at Bronto Gas, which is actually one of the traits that you can have in the game is a Bronto Gas employee. So you can be like one of your characters and dress this way. So so Bronto Gas is this is where you get fuel a lot of the time. Here or at Spear Oil stations, we didn't want to just have one brand like the original State of Decay. State of Decay 2 has twice the fuel brands from the original State of Decay, so that's a big improvement. But yeah, Bronto Gas is a pretty much a fixture of our world. So if you want to live in the State of Decay world,
also,
I don't know why you'd want to. You can wear this jacket.
It's bad, but also I had never realized that the head of the dinosaur is a fuel thing.
Yes,
until
totally.
I saw one of these jackets, I was like, oh my God, it's so cool.
Yeah, you can kind of see we've got a little.
It's hard to see really on the screen, but yeah.
We'll put up a picture on the Microsoft Studios Twitter later. If you want. So I'm going to go ahead and put the giveaway command in chat. Yes. If it doesn't work, I'm blaming Jen.
It's all my fault.
So do
I have to do anything else or just
slash giveaway? That's it.
My favorite use of one of these water bottles was we actually sent one of these to a fan in Morocco, and he sent us back a picture of the water bottle hanging from a camel in the Sahara
I
Desert.
love it.
Which was great. So
That's amazing.
It went out to the desert, was keeping somebody alive out there, so that was cool.
I love it so much. All right.
All right, I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to do it 3 times because we have 3 things. I think the first person may not be in chat. So, let's see if Hitman 901 is.
Red Hood, we have all kinds of sizes. We have I think small to maybe double XL. So whoever can just tell us.
There are way more boxes of these jackets than there are boxes of the water bottles left. So yeah, the jacket is fancier. The water bottles are rarer. So you can kind of decide which one of those.
I think I like the water bottle. I just like that
it's a very nice looking.
Feels pretty legit.
Okay, I've seen Mr. Slime Cat, so guess what? You win the jacket, so I want to see a picture of you with the jacket on your head.
On your head specifically?
He keeps asking he keeps wanting you to put the jacket on your head.
Oh, that's the
and he's the one that wins.
It's not where jackets go, but that's
so, Mr. Slime Cat, I will be messaging you from this account. I'll be sending you a whisper from this account later, grabbing your gamer tag and sending you a message to collect that information. Did the other 2 get back to me? I don't know. I don't remember.
Nazgul was one of them.
Yeah, and then
else?
Hitman. I didn't see anyone else. So we're going to do 2 more for the water bottles.
Catman, you are not on the right stream. Wondering if they'll ever get a Fortnite exclusive. This is not Fortnite.
We're not Fortnite. We're not Halo. We don't have any of that information. We don't even give out any insider information for us. We don't get it till we find out about it either.
This car is slow.
I definitely know nothing about.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I'm very focused on State of Decay.
I know how to die in Fortnite. I'm really good at that.
So I can usually survive to the last 4, and then when everyone starts building houses, I just lose it and I can't possibly compete.
I've literally never played it, so I have no idea.
No, it's I have a Fortnite. I have a Mixer Fortnite T-shirt that I think came from some trade show. People brought back a bunch of stuff from a trade show, and I grabbed one of the free T-shirts. And whenever I wear the Fortnite shirt out, kids will stop me and be like, "You play Fortnite?" And they get so excited. And
so State of Decay Battle Royale next, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think we actually have an official statement from our design director that says no, we are not doing a Battle Royale.
No, in all caps. Just no.
Other people have already done that. We want to try to explore in if we're going to explore, we're going to explore in new areas. Try something we haven't done before.
Yes.
Also, the giveaway thing is kind of being a kind of iffy, so we'll just give these away on Twitter, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure. Whatever works.
We can do that. We'll do the water bottle Twitter giveaway. So pay attention to our Twitter for that later. We're done in chat. Please don't spam chat. Please be nice. The Mixer people are being very nice and helping us out. No more. So Mr. Slimecat gets the jacket. We'll do the water bottles on Twitter later. I think that'll work.
Okay.
Cool. So, and here we go.
I'm gonna go grab this new car because I'm sick of my slow truck.
Well, do you want to crash the car and show the?
Oh yeah. So does it have does it have gas
It
left?
does. It does. Let's go do that, and then
We're gonna
when
show
we
off
get
the
there,
car
I'll just
mechanic.
crash it.
So,
So the stuck command also, we made some other improvements to it too. Not only does it teleport vehicles, but it also works in multiplayer now. It used to be only the host could do it.
oh,
But now the guests can also teleport themselves out of trouble.
okay.
And it used to frequently send you home instead of sending you somewhere nearby. Now it shouldn't do that anymore. It should actually send you to a place that's close by to where you are, so you don't have to, lose too much. So
All right.
that might be.
Trying to get us nice and stuck here.
So, is there any other stuff happening in patch
working.
3.0 that's worth mentioning?
Let me see. So the patch note list is very long, and we probably can't possibly go through all
No, for
of them.
sure. I mean, like we
But-
mentioned earlier,
Stuck enough?
tons of bugs. Jen, what did you do?
I got us stuck.
Very well done. So one.
All right.
We made some changes to it. Oh well, let's watch this happen first.
It's gonna,
So it takes a second. The game's got to
does.
find the right place to put you, and then sometimes there's a loading screen if you go kind of far. Occasionally this can happen. Occasionally the place that it finds is a little further away.
I
and
hope
you end
it
up with
puts
a
us
loading
close
screen.
to the car that I actually want.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I hope it puts you on the other side of the map.
So
Well, that's just rude. All right.
yeah, we'll see
I
where you
hear
ended up.
us. Where are
So
we?
where did you end up relative to?
Oh my God!
That's not how that was supposed to go.
People need you.
All right.
All right.
Good. We're
folks,
great.
Folks watching this
We're
in Undead
great.
Labs, we've got an
look.
additional bug to file.
I'm close to 2 different trucks.
That was amazing.
Look at it. Oh my Lord. Oh, I love it
It's on
so
fire
much.
over there. This is what I love about working in the game industry. Especially on big open world games.
Please never fix that bug specifically, says Fire Punch.
I agree. That was fantastic.
Amazing. So speaking of explosives, we have made some additional improvements in patch 3.0. Grenade launcher rounds, when you fire them at a fat zombie, they no longer bounce off the stomach. And back into your face.
Well, that sounds
which used to
fun,
be a thing.
which is-
So that's the one where I was like, that's kind of a feature, but I can imagine it being frustrating. It's like you fire a grenade at a zombie intending to kill the zombie, and then it ends up in
Killing
your face.
you.
But I mean, shoot it at his feet then. Don't shoot at his belly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of your own fault, but whatever.
See, I think things like that are that's the kind of stuff that I would do to myself, and I would just be like, well, I'm an idiot. What was I thinking?
The thing is, the grenade moves so fast, you might not quite understand what happened, and if you don't understand that it bounced
And then
off
you
the
just
tummy,
exploded,
you're just like, what? Did it drop at my feet? What happened? So. Ultimately, we have to make the decision that reduces hilarious
Yes.
player frustrating moments.
So Takuro also says they threw a nade at a Zed, and a member of his enclave got in the way, and it bounced back and killed him.
no.
Friendly fire.
Nice.
We do have a question. I don't know if this is something that keep in mind, this is not my game. I don't play it much. This would be so the answer.
We'll find out.
The answer very well maybe no, or we're not talking about that. Enraged Veil is asking if there are plans to enhance the depth of communities, such as relationships, best friends, or anything where if your one person dies, the others can change perks or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. So we definitely thought of doing a lot of things like that early on, and it ended up being one of the things where you have to sort of pick your battles and decide where you're going to put not just your production resources, what you're going to spend time on, but also what you're going to ask players to spend their attention on. And this, a game like State of Decay that does so many different things at once, the deeper you make each thing, the more it actually kind of pulls your attention away from everything else.
Sure.
So we ended up deciding not to go too deep with a lot of our individual features of the game to avoid sort of like if the player had to manage a bunch of relationships between their characters, then that would sort of pull them away from a lot of the other things that you're supposed to be able to focus on. So this game, it asks you to focus very broadly on a lot of stuff, and so we didn't go that deep on things like relationships.
You guys went more for the overview versus the super duper micromanagement of
Yeah.
which I guess makes sense.
And I
Because
mean,
almost anything like if we put a feature like that in there, like eventually, you know, if we're going to make it interesting enough, then players are going to have to focus on it. And if they have to focus on it, then players who don't care about that particular aspect of the game, it's detracting from the experience for them. So we ended up trying to balance it all out as well as we could. So it didn't go that deep on it, but.
And I mean, there is still, you know, like I've definitely kicked out the occasional person for just being a troublemaker and starting fights all the time.
Yeah, and that's
like,
the level we
so.
sort of decided to go to. Where it's like there's some people who are troublemakers, there's other people who are peacemakers, and I think we kind of call that out in their traits.
Yeah.
Where they'll say like if this person is around, they'll prevent fights from happening, or they will never get into fights.
So what happens if you have like the troublemaker and the peacemaker? Do they kind of cancel each other out?
I think that basically the troublemaker will go find somebody else to pick on, and so you've got if you've got a lot of peacemakers in your community, it's a lot harder for fights to start.
Sure. Well, I mean, that makes sense. A bunch of people, pacifists, nice people, and like being nice to each other. Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
There were some other improvements to explosives. We also have explosives now setting each other off.
So you can set chain reactions.
Chain reactions, exactly. So if you like gather a bunch of like mines on the ground and then you chuck a grenade at them, you can blow them all up and get like a massive explosion. So
was it before like if I blew up this one, only this one would blow up?
Only that one would blow up. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
So yeah, so you can like set up elaborate traps now and stuff if you want to.
For sure. That sounds kind of cool. That also sounds kind of trolly. Sounds like it could be fun.
You can troll the zombies anyway. They deserve it. It's fine.
It's true.
You know, they're murdering psychopaths, so it's okay.
I mean, that's the point of the game.
That's a lot of zombies around me. Let's go get in the car.
So, and then also there were a few of our
Please get it stuck again.
There were a few of our explosive effects that didn't quite match up, like the visual didn't quite match up with the physics, like bloater clouds and fires, which sometimes it would still be there even though it looked like it wasn't. And so we fixed a lot of those issues, so now if you see a bloater cloud, you know where the bloater cloud is. And if you see a fire, you know where the fire is. And if the fire looks like it died down, it actually died down. You're not going to walk in and then have like, you know, the remaining coals like set all your clothes on fire.
I mean, see, I like things like that. To me, I mean, but I understand the quality of life. But I personally find stuff like that pretty amusing,
like
honestly.
Suddenly your car explodes for no reason after you teleport. Like that's, you know, moments like that actually are
that was
pretty
my
hilarious.
Best.
That's for sure.
I don't understand what that was like. What,
why would we fix that?
It's never happened before.
Yeah, like I've never heard. Like Jen has been playing. I just have never. Yeah. I don't. Okay, Blaze. I mean, we tried. I don't know why it hates you today. Somebody wants to know when can we die in cars and find zombies in cars?
Finding zombies in cars would. Whoa.
Oh, maybe. Dang.
It's fine.
So close.
Finding zombies in cars
Not
would be
doing it
hard
again.
because it would require new animations. And right now, our characters are about as big as we can make them, and still, you know, get many, keep as many of these things, different things happening in the game at the same time as we can. And so a lot of features like that are things like, you know, we talked about actually discovering zombies in cars, having a zombie jump out of a car and attack you, or there's one in the back seat, so while you're driving around, it suddenly comes and starts eating you from the back.
Oh my God.
Those were all
terrible.
ideas we talked about early on, but when it came down to sort of narrowing down what set of animations our characters were going to have, what they were going to be able to do, that one was one that we could kind of safely say, okay, those would create some really cool, neat moments once or twice. And then it becomes kind of boring. like, oh man, every single car is going to be full of a zombie now.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? It would end up not adding that much to the experience, and we could save those animations for, you know, deepening the combat system or something like that.
Which is pretty great. I mean, there are some amazing animations.
There are some, I mean, and if you think about, you know, like when you improve your skills in the game, you know, different characters will end up with different suites of combat animations. There's a lot of animation work that goes into making a game like this work. You think of it as just like, oh, I push a button and I swing a weapon, but that weapon swing, there's several different. There's like, you know, dozens and dozens of different weapon swings that characters do in different circumstances against, you know, different enemies or with different skills or with different weapons.
Different stamina levels.
Yeah,
just all kinds of things.
Exactly. And so there's so much complexity that goes into that. We really wanted to make sure we could maximize that experience over doing things like having zombies jump out of cars. As cool as that would be.
I wish that
I agree that would be amazing.
Had anybody leveled up enough right now to actually show you some of the awesome fighting moves, but
Like
I don't think I do.
Yeah, twirling around with your sword, that kind of thing.
Or like just jump kicking them in the face, like.
One fix we did that's actually really important. This was from listening to the community. A lot of people were reporting to us that they were not getting their multiplayer rewards because the way it's supposed to work.
I actually saw something on that in chat. Somebody was like, "I'm glad we're getting stuff instantly now."
Yeah. So basically, you used to. the plan was you go into somebody else's game, you help them out for a while, and basically the work that you're doing is mostly to help their community. They get most of the benefit from your time there. So we wanted to give you a prize too. So when you went back to your home community, you would get some prizes too. Some, I think it's some items and some influence for the work that you were doing for your friend. But sometimes they weren't arriving. And so now we've got 100%. There are people who've been playing the game for weeks or months who've had like old rewards that they never received.
Oh, did
who are
it
just
all
getting a
show up,
giant
like,
pile as
thousands
soon as
of
they played with
influence
PAX 3.0. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you haven't played for a while and you've got some multiplayer rewards waiting for you, go back, load up your save for that community, and you should immediately see them just like dropped at your feet. So.
Guys, I don't know why everybody is in here talking about Fortnite and PUBG. I can't think of a game that's further from that
From either of those. Like, there are guns. That's
we're not here to talk Battle Royale or either of those. Go somewhere else.
Oh Lord.
There was something. I guess, and I don't know if there'll be an answer to this again.
Well, that's fine.
Somebody wants to know: Do you guys know who the guest for tomorrow's Undead Labs stream is? Is that something you want to announce here, or just wait till tomorrow?
We haven't actually figured it out yet, so
it'll be a surprise.
We're playing it
surprise for them,
fast and
too.
loose today. Yeah, no, we had a couple of different ideas, but we haven't actually settled on one. So you'll see us. So we're at if you want to follow us on Mixer, we're at Undead Labs. So
Yep. Well,
go check us out there.
I can put that link in chat for everybody.
And we do a stream every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So come and join us. We have different developers throughout the studio coming in to be our guests.
So kind of like this, but Undead Labs specific.
Yeah, it's Undead Labs specific, and I'm usually sitting in your seat, and then there's somebody sitting here playing
Somebody's
the game.
being me. It's great.
Exactly, and then some, we actually did a stream a couple weeks ago that was with one of our streamers, one of our fans, Surreal Scotsman came on,
Okay,
and we had him over Skype,
yeah.
and he was playing the game with us.
Awesome.
So
That's
pretty great.
So we do all kinds of weird little stuff like that. So come and check us out, and yeah, we're a pretty good source of if you want to come into our chat and ask us questions. We're usually pretty open about what we can talk about, and we like to sort of share whatever information we can with you guys.
Yeah, and I'll be there moderating. So
Somebody wants to be able to drive a
hang
fire
out.
truck.
Oh yeah, we got wrecked fire trucks out in the world
That would be cool.
that are undrivable. That would be cool.
Look, your toolkit's just not big enough to fix that. Like, there's a lot of stuff to fix on that fire truck.
Can you imagine teleporting your fire truck and having that blow up?
Be pretty
like
amazing.
a meteor shooting across the sky. Yeah, so
It
that'd
would
be
like
amazing.
blow up your entire compound.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Stel,
What should we do in
Stel
for the next 10
1975
minutes?
wants to know what this game
we
is
could do
about.
this.
Zombies.
So there's a lot of games that are about fighting zombies. This is about surviving in the zombie apocalypse long term. That's sort of the big difference between State of Decay and a lot of other zombie
Right.
games. Now there are definitely zombie games out there that are about the long term survival. Especially there's some really cool, interesting indie games out there that are about that. But State of Decay it's a big open world game full of zombies and in a big simulated world where you have to go out and scavenge supplies, make decisions about the kind of base you're going to build, and make decisions about what people you're going to have in your base to sort of contribute to your long-term survival. So
Try
Somebody
not to break a
called it
leg.
the Sims for zombies.
The Sims for zombies, yeah, that seems
It's a good,
pretty
very
accurate, yeah.
Very basic, yeah.
So did you just call in an Independence Pack?
I
supply
did.
drop?
I did. I just got that message or the
All right.
not message.
So-
mission.
Ooh, nice.
now we can
You got the pyro launcher mission. Okay,
yes.
awesome.
So we're gonna go take out a, I believe it's an infestation
Yeah.
with this.
Can you do that in about 3 minutes?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Usually it
Well, I
spawns
don't.
pretty close.
Yeah, there we go.
There
it's
it
right
is.
there. I was gonna be like, I don't have a car, but
Run
that's
right
fine.
over there.
So there was somebody in chat that was asking actually for this to call in the Independence Pack. So
Oh, great.
we have done that.
Just for you.
And and so here are, and this is.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay.
Oh man, ganked you when you got the inventory open. That's not fair.
Really, very rude.
Okay, so she's using the Freedom Ringer right now, which is a big weighted. It's a bat
Damn.
that's got a big weight on the end
Also
with
gonna-
like American flag themed paint on it. So
Put that in my actual equipped slot.
is that the pyro? Yeah, you got the pyro launcher. So we've got a bunch of fireworks and 4th of July themed weapons. You got the Grillmeister, which is a spatula. And so
Oops,
the thing
turn it
about
off
this weapon
first.
is once you start shooting it, you kind of can't stop.
Don't light me on fire.
Yeah, so we've got two fireworks-based weapons. We got the Starshank launcher, which fires fireworks that stick into zombies and attract a bunch of other zombies around them, and then explode.
Oh, I like it.
Just fire that into one zombie in a horde, and it'll take the entire horde out.
That's so cool.
Occasionally, I've seen people even fire it into the mouth of a feral, which is probably about the most satisfying thing. It's not very accurate, but this is the pyro launcher. So this one fires a burst. It's a burst fire weapon, but the burst, instead of being like 3 or 5 shots, it's 20 shots.
Yes.
So you basically empty half your magazine of fireworks into the zombies, and it looks like,
I just took them out in one clip. Yes.
An entire infestation in a single shot. So one pull of the trigger.
I love it. And I had already used some of those, so that's pretty great.
So that's like the perfect way to end a session.
It
honestly.
it really kind of is. I mean, it's just
Usually we try to end a session by killing a character, but we'll take
good.
this. Yeah.
So who, when you
like
start
this
your
new
games,
community.
who do you start with? Do you pick any of the ones that are there, or like?
So usually I'll see. I'll usually actually kind of search around for names that I like. So I'm not really the most strategic player. I usually go.
I'm with you. Like, this is how I pick classes in like Diablo. Or hey, this one's holding something purple. I like it. Let's go.
My last game is the first time I tried to go like really strategic with it. I loaded up 3 characters at the end of my last game with like all the guns and ammo. I loaded them up with like 60 plague samples, so I'd never have to worry about that. Like I just loaded them up with everything, and then I went and chose those 3 characters when I made my new community, which has gone really well for me, but also like made it kind of less hard. So I might just go random next time.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who are saying who've been playing a long time, and they've got these long-term characters they've built up that they've played multiple communities with.
Yeah.
And they're actually starting to say, like, what I should do now is just start from scratch again.
Wipe everything.
Yeah, and just start with brand new characters, brand new community, and just and have that sort of baseline experience again. So that's probably what I'm going to do next. So
Yeah, just start a completely fresh game.
with a bunch of clever nicknames.
And
Yeah.
I hope that someone has the driving skill because it's so good.
I mean, now you can actually get your car back.
But and you use so much less gas. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Yeah, we're pretty much done, Han Solo. Do we got time maybe for another quick question or two? So if there's anything not crazy, what's the best map for beginners? That's a good one.
For beginners,
I mean, I
That's
think
hard
they're
to
all
say.
pretty equal. I mean, if you want to not crash your car so much, I really do like, God, what's it called? Meager Valley.
Meager Valley. Yeah, that's
that
good for
one's
not crashing your car. It's got a lot of flat open spaces. The Cascade Hills is also pretty good. That's the one that's called like the Foothills, I think, when you go through the tutorial. I think it's good because it starts you just over on one corner, so you've got like a small area to explore first before you really start getting out into the scale of the map.
Yeah.
So it's got a nice little area. That was the area where we would always sort of first test out kind of our tutorial missions and stuff like that.
Right.
We would play them there first.
Keeps
and
you
then
kind of
try the
contained
other
in a
ones.
small area without getting...
Yeah, without getting overwhelmed, by the scale of the game. So
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Anyone else have another quick question? Or are we pretty much improve Warlord and Sheriff?
okay, thanks. I'll take notes.
I really like Sheriff. I think Sheriff's really Warlord. I don't like being the mean guy.
Yeah.
So I've beat it once, and I'm probably never going to beat it again. And I thought Sheriff was really fun. You get to go out there and just like take charge. It's great.
with the law on the frontier.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
We love you too, P1 Gamer.
Yeah, we do.
We love you, P1 gamers.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We got about 3 minutes left, so we're basically done.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
Done-ish.
can probably call it. We don't. That was just such a good thing to end on. Like, I mean,
Yeah, for
unless
sure.
you guys have some really, really good questions, that I think we're gonna check out of here a little bit early.
Yeah, so be sure to come back next week.
Leak something? No.
What? Leak something? Yeah, no. I think we all like our jobs.
We do. We tend to not leak things.
Let's not leak anything. But if you guys come back next week, same place, same time at 12 noon, I think
Different game.
Different game. You might see a little bit of Cuphead.
Might see me failing in a little bit of Cuphead.
And by failing a little bit, she means we're going to fail a lot because it'll be Jen and I. We're trying to talk the boys into joining us, but we'll see if that happens. But yeah, so come back next week at noon for some more Cuphead. If you stick around today, I believe at 3, Malik and Ethan will be on for tips and tricks. And when I asked them what they were talking about, they didn't really give me anything, so they said just...
Sky tips.
Okay, well,
No
Josh
Man's Sky
says they're
tips.
they're going to show off some No Man's Sky tips. But more
Just
importantly...
check it out. They're
No, but more
hilarious.
importantly, you can show up and watch Malik be awkward for the
Well,
entire hour. Because that's what he told me I could say.
Pretty much.
So that's at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's
what they just saw from me,
Yeah,
so.
3 p.m. 3
6
p.m.
p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yes. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern.
We're really good at
I'm
this,
good at
guys.
math. Anyways, I think that about wraps it up. Anything from you? Anything else for you? Your Twitter, your plug, your company, anything?
Yeah, so we're at Undead Labs on Twitter. I'm at Rangatang if you want to harass me personally. And yeah, just, you know.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
We try really hard to listen to you guys. I mean, the reason we've got this patch is because we're paying attention. So please, keep giving us feedback. Let us know if you've got any problems with the new patch.
Any things you love about the new patch? We like positive things.
We do like positive things too. But we really want to know how we can make things better. So keep it coming.
Please do.
All right. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. We'll catch you next week.
I'll just hit my hand.
Hype Zone is a wild environment.
I personally have been on Hype Zone for both Fortnite and PUBG.
You want to prove to me that you're better than me? Let's go.
Let's go, baby!
On the fly movement, under pressure movement.
All eyes are on you.
I'm gonna die.
I have never been in the Hype Zone.
That's how it's done on the Hype Zone, son. Put someone that's in the heat of battle and
boom, you're hosted.
Hundreds of people get raided onto your channel.
Yo, guys, we hit the Hype Zone.
Oh my God, the Hype Zone team.
Put them on the limelight.
Experiencing how you handle the pressure.
My heart rate just skyrocketed.
You never let them see you sweat and don't panic, but it usually happens a lot.
You know, some people fail and the viewers like that.
And when you get that win and cheer,
the viewers like that too.
It's a fun thing to watch.
And when you actually get that win on Hype Zone and they've been what they call deprived of dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Say that for the people in the back.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
It's the best feeling in the world.
It's created something in the live stream community that's never been there before. The best part about it,
you end up growing your community naturally by these people just seeing you play.
And now you potentially picked up more viewers and friends to go along on this journey as well.
Hype Zone's the best.
We're in the Hype Zone!